Hello students, the topic of this video lecture is working with the form. As all of you know that in Visual Basic the form is the container for all the controls that make up the user interface. Means if you want to create any user interface in Visual Basic, then form act as a placeholder for all the controls. Means all these controls are placed on this form control, and when a Visual Basic application is executing or running, each window it display on the desktop is a form. Means in Visual Basic, either it is a program, application or project, the first screen is a form. That's why form is also called the desktop. Form is a top level control in Visual Basic application, and every application starts with the forms. In other words, we can also say that form is a base on which the user interface is built. The next point regarding the form is the every window application must have at least one form. Now you see on the screen this form control is visible. This is the title bar on which the title of the form is given. By default it is form 1. On right hand side of the title bar there is the control box including the minimize, maximize and close button. On the left hand side of the title bar there is control menu having the following commands, that is restore, move, size, minimize, maximize and close. The first command is disabled or not active. It is enabled or active only when the user maximizes the form. Next one is the move. It allows the user to move the form around with the mouse. Next one is the size. It allows the user to resize the form with the mouse. Next one is the minimize. It allows the user to minimize the form. Next one is the maximize, as the name suggests, it maximizes the form. And the last one is the close. It closes the forms. The main area on which everything takes place is known as the client area. This grid pattern is known as the client area. Now, as all of you know that form is also a control. So like other controls, form also have events, properties and methods. Now we discuss some of the important properties of a form. The first important property is the caption. This is the property window in which the properties of the forms are visible. The first important property is the name. By default, the name is the form 1. This property sets the name of the form uses in the code mode. Next one is the caption. The text that appears on the title bar of the form is the caption. We can also change the caption. Suppose I am changing the caption here. My form. My form. Form. F-O-R-M. Okay, it is visible in the title bar. I have changed the caption. It is visible in the title bar of the form. My form. Next important property is the min button and maximum button. These two properties are set by default true. Okay. Now I set this property to false. Now you see in the title bar the maximum button is disabled. So make it true. Always set the min and max button property to the true. Next important property is the movable property. But by default it is also true, means we can move the forms during runtime with the mouse. Now I run this application. Now you can see that you can run the form with the mouse because movable property is set to true. Now I set it to false. Now I again run this application. Now you see that we can't move this form with the mouse. So always set this property to true if you want the form to move during runtime with the mouse. The next important property is the window state. There are three options are given for the window state: normal, minimized and maximized. By default it is 0, means window for the form during runtime visible in the normal mode, but you can set it in the minimized and maximized form also. So these are the important properties of the form. Now we discuss the forms methods. As all of you know that methods are the predefined functions associated with the forms. The first important method for the form is the show method. Show. You can use the show method to display a form, means if a form is loaded but not invisible, then the show method brings the specified form on the top of every other window. If the form is not loaded, then the show method loads it and then display it. Next one is the hide method. We can also use the hide method to hide a form. It is opposite to the show method. When a form is hidden, we can still access and use its properties in the code. For example, we can call any function in the form or any event handler. Hidden forms are not unloaded. They remain in memory and can be displayed using the show method. Now, I use the syntax for the show method in the code mode. Syntax for the show method is the first of all form name. Here the form name is the form1 dot show method, SHOW, this one. It have one optional argument known as the mode. Mode have two values, 0 and 1. 0 stands for modeless form and 1 stands for modal form. Modeless form means the forms interact with the user and allow the user to proceed other forms of the applications or the project. By default, forms are the modeless. We can compare a modeless forms with the find and replace dialog box. Next one is the modal form. Modal form always take total control of the application or the project and would not allow the application to proceed on others' form unless the current form is closed. We can compare modal form with the new, open or save as dialog box. This argument is optional mode. It have two values, 0 and 1. Now the syntax for the hide method is the same, form name dot hide. Okay, it have no argument. Okay, so we can use the show and hide method. Next method is the refresh method. The refresh method tells the Visual Basic to update the display before executing the commands. Its syntax is also the form name dot refresh. Okay. Next method is the move method. The move method can be used to change the form location on the screen. Its syntax is the form name dot move. It can have 4 parameters: top, left, width and height. Top is the y coordinate of the top left form. Left is the x coordinate of the top left form. Width is the width of the form and height is the height of the form. That is top left, comma, top, comma, width, comma, height. Left means x coordinate of the top left form. Top means y coordinate of the top left form. Width means the width of the form. Height is the height of the form. The next two methods are loading and unloading forms. Means two methods, load and unload method or statements, are associated with the loading and unloading of the forms. The load method means load a form in the memory with all its properties and variables. The load method does not display the form on the screen. It just loads the form in the memory. Always remember that. And the unload method does the opposite function. It removes a form from the memory and all its resources and free all the resources occupied by it, and so it can be used by other application. The syntax for load and unload is LOAD. First of all, use the keyword load and after that the form name. Okay. And for syntax for unload is unload and form name. So these are the syntax for different methods of the forms. We can I can tell you the difference between the load and show method. We can speed up the display of the form by loading. Means we can use the load method to speed up the display speed by loading it. And some forms don't need to be displayed. They only need to be loaded for other forms or application. Now I will show you the difference between unload and hide method with the help of a program. Okay. Now I am taking two command buttons. First command button and second command button. I have set this caption as hide, HIDE, and caption for next command button is unload. Okay. Now write down the code for command button. First command button, as I tell you already, form name dot height, and for next command button for command 2, first of all the unload keyword and after that the form name. Now I executed the application. I click on the hide button. Okay. Now click on the hide button. We see that the form is invisible but the application is still running, and the application by clicking on the add button. Now I again execute this program. Now click on the unload button. Now you see that the application is immediately terminated without clicking at the terminate button. Again I repeat this. Start. I click on hide button. The application is still running but the form is invisible. I again run the program. Click on the unload button. The application is immediately terminated without clicking on the end button. So this is the difference between the hide and unload button. Till now we have created the programs having the single form, but it is also possible that a program can have more than one forms, that is the multiple forms. Even a project can have more than 10 forms. It is also possible to display one form after the another with the help of the show method. The show method will load the form in the memory and display it on the screen. Now I will clarify it with an example or the program. For this, first of all, click on the project and then select the add form. The add form dialog box will open up on the screen. By default, form is selected, so click on the open. Now you see in the project explorer window, form 1 and form 2. Two forms are visible. Now I want to place the controls in the form 1. So select that and click that. Now the form 1 is active. So now I am drawing or placing a command button here and write down its caption to hello. Okay. Now I want to place control on the second form. So double click on the form 2. Place also a command button here. Set its caption to back and also placed a text box here. Set its text box to empty. Set its value to empty. Now I want when the user click on the hello button, then form 2 is displayed and text will be displayed in the text box. How it can be possible? Double click on the hello command button to enter in the code mode. Now write the coding. First I want to show the when the user click on the command button, form 2 is visible. So I uses here the show method form2.show. I also want that on form 2 the text is visible. So text1 I used it here, text1 dot text is equal to welcome to Visual Basic. Okay, welcome to the Visual Basic. This text will appear on the second form text box when the user click on the command button. Now I want to write coding in the second form. So select here, click on the back command button. Okay, this command button is the second form command button. So now I want here when the user click on the back button, form 2 is invisible and hide up. So form 2 dot I use it here hide method and also unload the form 2. Okay, this coding is sufficient. Now I am executing the program. Now your user click on hello button. Now you see on the screen that text welcome to the Visual Basic is visible on the text box, and now I click on the back button. Now form 1 is visible. Now both the commands button are working. I again run it. User click on the hello button. The text will appear in the text box. Now I click on the back button. Form 2 will be hide up and form 1 is visible on the screen. Now it is clarified to you how we can work with the multiple forms. Now you can also create multiple instances of a form also, and you can also set up the startup form also. Suppose your program or project have multiple forms. You can also set up the startup forms by clicking on the project and then select the project 1 properties. The project properties dialog box will open up. Select the general tab. Now look at the startup object. Here the list of all the forms available in the project or application or program are visible. Select the form you want to make it the startup form. Now click on the OK button. This is the procedure for setting up the startup form. Now the next topic is how to create the multiple forms. How to create the multiple instances of a form. How to create multiple instances of a form. For this, we have write down the code here. Suppose I want to create multiple instances of the hello. Multiple instances of the hello form. So write down the code here. Dim x as form. Set. Use the set operator. X is equal to and the new operator form 1 x dot show. X dot show form okay. Now I am running this application. Now you see multiple instances of the first forms are visible on the screen. I again repeat. Suppose I want to create multiple instances of the form 1. Then I have created an object x of the form. I use the set operator, new operator, and by using the x and the dot operator, I use the show method. Now I again run this application, click on hello. Multiple instances of the form are created on the form. So these are the example of how we can work with the multiple forms, how we can set up the startup form, how we can create the multiple instances of the form. Now the last topic of this video lecture is activate and deactivate event. Before starting the activate and deactivate event, we need to understand why we require the activate event. As all of you know that certain type of actions cannot be performed in the load event, because the fact is that form is fully loaded only after the load event completes. For example, if you want to print the form in the load event, then it will not work. Second shortcoming of the load event is if you try to set focus to a particular control on the form during the load event, you will get the error. For example, I have placed a text box in the form, this one. Now I want that to set the focus here, means on the form load event, the text box get the focus, set focus. Now I am running this program. It causes a runtime error. The reason for the error is that the form is not fully loaded, neither any of the controls on it, or you can't set focus to a control that is not yet available. The third shortcoming of the load event is you will get a runtime error if you place code in the form load that tries to use the data controls. To solve these problems, we can use activate event. If form receives an activate event when it becomes the active form, or in other words we can say a form is the active form in an application when the focus in the application is on the form itself or on a control within the form. This means that either the form itself has the focus or a control on the form has the focus. Note that the title bar of the active forms appears highlighted. We can activate the form by using any of the following three options. First of all, by clicking on the form with the mouse, by calling the form show method, or by calling the set focus method. Again, I will show you how the activate events occurs. Now, I use it form load, not form load. It causes a runtime error because text box will not get the focus on the form load event. It will set the focus on the activate event. Activate this one. Now I again write down the lines set focus. Now I again run this program. Now you see on the screen the text box will accept the focus. So such types of coding or focus can't be possible with the load event. Also note that the activate event fires whenever your application switches to that form, and deactivate event fires when it loses the active status to another form in the same application. Suppose you have two forms, then activate and deactivate events are very helpful. Now I can clarify you by telling you some differences between the form load and activate event. The first difference between form load and activate event is that activate event happens only after the form load event. Second difference is the activate event procedure is a better place than the form load event procedure to put up the startup code, because it will affect the form appearance having the data bound controls. The reason is that putting some types of code in the form load event procedure causes a runtime error that tries to manipulate the runtime properties of the data bound controls that is not fully initialized. The third difference between the form load and the activate event is the form load event fires only once, but the active event can fire multiple times once the form is loaded. Therefore, you should be cautious about when placing the code into the activate event procedure, because if you don't want that code to run more than one form per session. Also note that activate event occur before the got focus event and deactivate after the lost focus event. Got focus after the form receive focus through the user action or through the set focus. Got focus used to display information or instructions to the user, for example in the status bar control. Form also support the got focus and lost focus events as do controls. Now you can, I think the difference between the form load and active event is clear to you. Suppose a student enters in the class. This is the loading. Okay. Now after enter into the class, he can have the focus multiple times. Means once the user enters in the class, we can compare it with the form load events, because it fires only once. But a student can receive the focus, or we can ask question from same student multiple times, so she or he can have activate events multiple times. So this is the difference between the form load and activate event. I hope you like this video and you will understand all the concept explained in this video lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.